let's just review a few things that I do really like. So yeah, so let's do that. So first of all, let me just put my face in the... God, I'm finding my little small face. Here I am up in the top. In fact, let's medium face me. Here I am. I'm in the bottom corner. So key things that I think are important. So number one is that they are doing this. They're painting the full picture from day one. And this graphic I like. They're going from... what we have to, and I created graphics not dissimilar to this for if you remember, Permanent Rail Engineering, RIP, created graphics like similar to this, related to passenger numbers rather than trains per hour, because I think the number of seats is more. Anyway, but trains per hour here, they've gone from what we have today to what they could have, and I think this is brilliant. This really shows what you unlock by building the new line, and it shows the benefits are you double capacity, or if not more, on the existing railway network. I think that's really powerful. It's a really nice way to describe it, to detail it. And also they say with potential to accommodate additional services here, which I'd say the national services. This the kind of the pan UK services. This I like a lot. This is good. They've very much painted the full picture from day one, and they've done it with some they've described it quite nicely. Number two, they have localized the benefits, which is a key thing that HS2 failed to do from the outset. It did stuff like rebalancing the economy, and they maybe had briefcase guys getting around the country quicker. They made barely that. They never made any effort to really paint those local pictures. And they've it's not just these nice cute graphics they had at the end. They've kind of done this throughout. Perhaps not to the same level as I would in detail, but they're kind of not quite at the level of the full detail that they can kind of bring in anyway. So I like this. What's the next one? They did the thing where they plotted skills and timelines and thought about the relationship with the supply chain, which I think is really important. I should have added the map graphic to this so this all fits together, but as you know, I think this is incomplete and not ambitious enough. But that's not for this board to think about necessarily. They've painted the picture of what they see as related to their stuff, as well as what's currently being delivered. And you know what? That's fine and fair enough. I think there's a lot more major infrastructure that needs to be delivered in this bit here. But broadly, yeah. And then it gives an idea of where this ought to sit in terms of what needs to happen when, which I do like. And then the most important one, because this is critical in actually getting this stuff delivered, is they've gone some length to embarrassing the Treasury, which I'm very pleased about, because the only way you're going to actually successfully deliver this stuff is by doing just that. It is by embarrassing Treasury into showing, oh, you're doing this, you're willing to do all this. What's that? 25 billion East West Rail. I don't even know what the headline budget is for East West Rail anymore. Some number of billions. But our little bit of railway down here, you're still umming and ahhing about. Is that the case? Huh. Interesting. Yeah. So I like this. I like this. The logic of embarrass Treasury into very much embarrass Treasury into delivering something that delivering the final full picture. So I like this. This is good. Embarrass Treasury. That's very, very important. It's a nice little graphic to do that. Actually, I do like this. The last point I want to say is kind of can this work though? This is where we hand over to our man Andy. But the reason I picked out Burnham in particular is because, unlike Steve Rotherham, I don't have any problems with Steve, but unlike Steve Rotherham, Burnham has made a point of being extremely loud on the public stage, nationally, and he's been very successful in doing so. He's seen as a bit of a northern figurehead. Some people find that annoying. But they shouldn't, frankly, because it's very valuable that we have someone, a king in the north, as it were, and that is Burnham. Burnham has picked up and run with that role. Love him or hate him, that is where he's at, and he has the ability, politically, to apply a lot of pressure on Starmer and Reeves, because Starmer and Reeves are desperate to not be as hated as they currently are. They're polling pathetically right now, and on the back of the local elections, that it's just going to get worse and worse. They're polling worse than any modern government ever has at this stage in their tenure. It's shocking. So they're desperate to work out what they need to do, and they have no idea, because there aren't people who have ideas or any vision about the future, whereas Burnham does. This is a difference. between Burnham and Reeves and Starmer is that he has some ideas, and he has an idea about how transport can make direct benefits to people. He's already working on that for GM, and he is a figurehead that can lead the whole of the North in that direction, certainly the Northwest. So I think Burnham has the potential political power to achieve this.